Reasons why a man don't want no wife nowadays. Number one, she too bossy. She don't want nobody to tell her what to do but herself, not even God. Number two, she just talk too much. She don't know when to be quiet. She don't understand that there's a time and season for everything. And he just ain't got time for all that talking. That yappy. Number three, she's more interested in being a gold digger than she is being his wife. Not understanding that becoming his wife, listen, all of that gonna come anyway. But she's so stuck on what she can get out of him, so he don't even want to fool with her. Number four, he already know that the government is against him. So if they do get a divorce, he already know whose side the government is going to side with. So he feel like, what's the use? And number five, she ain't really ready to come up out them streets, because even when she do get married, she's still living for the streets. She's still acting like she's single, knowing that she married. Come on, somebody. And number six, she learned to emasculate a man at a young age because her mama taught her to be disrespectful. Her mama taught her how to shut a man down. Her mama taught her how to get a man to cooperate when he don't want to do right. By what? Put him on child support, take him to court, take him for everything that he got. So with that said, these are reasons that most men don't want to marry today. All right? Y'all leave in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Love y'all. Bye.
So women are always coming into my DM just sounding emotional and crazy. And I always got to do a real video to put them in their place because the math don't be mathing. So this woman came into my DM and she was like, yeah, you talk all this stuff about women, but men are nothing but cheaters. Why would a woman want to be faithful to these men, especially these black men? All they do is cheat. First of all, stop right there. And let's look at the logic, because again, you're talking from a place of emotion. Who has more access to sex, men or women? Women. Everybody knows that women have more access to sex than men. Women control sex, men control relationships. All right, let's stop there. Now that we have that logic, if women have more access to sex, who's probably doing the most cheating? Women. What are we talking about? Y'all come on my platform and y'all DM me all this nonsense about men and talking about men. This is why we are where we are as modern women today, because we can never take accountability. We always want to point the finger. We never want to look in the mirror. It's women that's cheating more than men. All right, so I'm going to need y'all to change these narratives, okay? So women are always coming into my DM just sounding emotional and crazy. And I always got to do a real video to put them in their place because the math don't be mathing. So this woman came into my DM and she was like, yeah, you talk all this stuff about women, but men are nothing but cheaters. Why would a woman want to be faithful to these men, especially these black men? All they do is cheat. First of all, stop right there and let's look at the logic, because again, you're talking from a place of emotion. Who has more access to sex, men or women? Women. Everybody knows that women have more access to sex than men. Women control sex, men control relationships. All right, let's stop there. Now that we have that logic, if women have more access to sex, who's probably doing the most cheating? Women. What are we talking about? Y'all come on my platform and y'all DM me all this nonsense about men and talking about men. This is why we are where we are as modern women today, because we can never take accountability. We always want to point the finger. We never want to look in the mirror. It's women that's cheating more than men. All right, so I'm going to need y'all to change these narratives, okay?
Who should take out the trash after dark? The man. Who should be checking the backyard when the dog goes crazy at 1 a.m? The man. Who carries the heavy boxes and fixes the flat tire and answers the unexpected knock at the door? The man. They're built to handle the riskier, heavier things. And most women love when a man shows up like that. It brings stability and she can relax knowing that she's being taken care of. But somewhere along the way, some women start picking up these riskier, heavier things, not necessarily on purpose, it kind of just creeps in. The bills, the decisions, the problems, the constant managing, and all of a sudden, she's doing his job. And that's when the home feels out of whack, not because she's wrong, but because the roles flipped. And she's carrying the weight. That drains her, and he no longer has the space to step up into his. But when she shifts back into her lane, more feminine, less tense, not holding the entire house on her shoulders, things can change very quickly. He rises and she softens, and the home feels like a home again. So if you're doing what your man should be doing, you're in your masculine energy, and that can drain you. It can seriously damage your relationship right under your nose. I made a free quiz so you can help find out which energy you're living in and what needs to shift. Comment quiz and I'll send you the link.
So many of these modern women, they want a man that's passionate about them. They want a man that shows an intense longing and a desire. An intense longing and a desire for them. And men are saying, after what I just saw, no. You ain't got nothing else to desire. You didn't show it all. Absolutely not.
After building a career on making men think that she cared about them just to reach 1 million followers, turn around and say, you men, I actually don't like you at all. This has now garnered 8 million man-hating women, because that's just all of her content. Well, she popped out with a man. She got engaged, and now she's shocked and dazed and confused as to why her giant following of man-hating women aren't with her fiance, why they're all on her now. I'm sorry, you built an entire following on women who are bitter, angry, and lonely, and then you're wondering why they're not clapping for you now that you're no longer bitter, angry, and lonely? Also, can we just call out the men who date man-haters like Drew Afalo for like what they actually are, which is just cucks. Like, you're the biggest cuck. You know that your woman despises your entire gender, and you think that you're good enough? You think you're different? This is like when girls date misogynists and they're like, yeah, he hates women, but I'm special. You're not special. You're an idiot. Congratulations. Hating on men for your entire career has done one of two things. Actually, both things. Number one, they've made the man haters hate your husband, and they've made the women who don't even hate men hate your husband, because how desperate do you have to be with somebody like her? This relationship isn't gonna last. I don't think they're even gonna make it to marriage, and if they do, they will get divorced. This is my prediction right now.
The only reason a man is asking for your body count is because he wants to test you. He wants to see how many men you've slept with, because he wants to check if you're easy. And let's say you've slept with quite some guys, and you have this attitude like, you know, I just want to be totally honest, I don't care what he thinks. And because men are good with words, maybe he has even convinced you that it doesn't really matter. But don't be fooled, because all the men you've been with, he ultimately sees them as predators he's in competition with. And that's why we have this expression, a woman's value lies in her past. Because when a man knows where you've been, he will judge you for it. And the other reason he wants to test you on is if, for example, you have many men on your list, he's wondering how loyal you are. Because a man knows if he himself has been with many women in the past, he's more likely to cheat in the future. Because he's not very careful in selecting his partners. But what men don't understand is that with women it's exactly the opposite. If, for example, a woman has slept with quite some men before she settles down, she's more likely to stay faithful to the man she chooses, because she has enough experience now to know what's out there. But a man will never understand this, because he judges you from the way he thinks. And therefore the best thing to do is, when you get questions about your body count, is tell him that it's not important, because now you are with him. And also tell him it makes you feel uncomfortable to talk about these things with him. Because ladies, it's always better that what happened in the past should stay in the past.
Andrew Tate was right when he said dudes won't fight when they realize you will fight. I had an altercation earlier on my way to the boxing gym on the street train, and a guy elbowed me in my back, and I turned around and said, hey yo, you just elbowed me on my back, could you move your arm for me? Then he was like, what you say? With a snazzy attitude. So I'm like, excuse me, you just elbowed me on my back, could you please move your arm for me? So he was like, oh man, you ain't have to come off like that. I'm like, well, you didn't hear me say it the first time, so I'm saying it again. Like, oh, I didn't hear you at all. And I'm like, I know, that's why I'm telling you again. Oh, I didn't hear you at all. And I'm like, I know. That's why I'm telling you again. And we just went back and forth. And I'm just like, whatever, bro. Can you please just watch your arm next time? So I turned around and put my face back in my phone. And he got up and said something disrespectful at the back of my head. I kindly took my bag off, took my glasses off, stood up and turned around and said, so what you want to do? Once I checked his temperature, that's when he started retracting and started walking away. Oh, you ain't about all that. You ain't about all that. But I'm like, you the one walking away from me. Just got so close to the back of my head. But when I stand up and turn around and now I'm facing you in your face, now all of a sudden you want to start backing away and telling me I'm not the one on that. Okay. Or he just kept going, slowly making his way off the street train, not trying to do nothing. And my thing is, I'm not finna chase you. My thing is, people will never know who they dealing with. Just because I wear glasses doesn't mean that I'm not willing to take them off. I'm actively on my way to the boxing gym. I have no problem having an early sparring session.
You know, men are not going to continue. I think men are getting to a point to where they would rather take a loss, right? I'd rather lose, as you would put it, as you would have it, if you say so. I would rather lose than sit up here and try to convince somebody to like me and they don't even care about me. That's the point that a lot of men are getting to. So you're not going to see me beg. You're not going to see me sit up here and pine and sing a song, Earth Angel, will you be mine? And since I lost my baby, and you're not going to hear me saying that because there's not really anything out here to beg for. I'm not going to sit up here and convince you to like me. You don't even like me.
Most of my guy friends are single right now, and this is why. Talking about my friends, they're hustlers. And so in their mind, they're thinking not only would a girl be kind of a distraction right now, but the girl that they could get right now is nowhere near as good as the one that they could get in 5 years when they're richer, when they're more successful, when they're more established.
First of all, it's really easy to say that you don't want a relationship when a woman doesn't want a relationship with you. Women have collectively decided to raise their standards, and the truth is a lot of men these days don't meet those standards. A man being able to only pay the light bill is not going to cut it. Women want financial stability. This isn't new. Y'all try to act like it's new, but it's not. Back in the days when women didn't have bank accounts, didn't have jobs, they did select partners who could financially provide for them and their future children. Stop acting like women these days are so new and what's wrong with them and this is so revolutionary and these are modern women. Women have always expected a man to provide. You're modern because you expect a woman to split bills with you, and no woman in history has ever been asked that. And then with this bootleg vague threat like, you guys are going to want us in 5 to 10 years. We're going to be the ones with the money and you're going to wish you hadn't hated on us when we were in our 20s. You're getting princess treatment. You're getting flown out. You're getting spoiled by these men who have money right now. And when we get the money, we're not going to want you. Those women don't care. The reason why there's so many single men out there is because we are asking you to be better, and some of these men are refusing to. You're digging in your heels, you're being stubborn, and you're going to stay single until you change. Women are evolving. Evolve with us or get left.
3 minutes of this. All right, I'll play it. Let me see if I can play it in full without commentary.
Say a 6 foot, God-fearing, tatted up, gym rat, pretty teeth. I wouldn't mind an accent. I wouldn't, but you don't gotta have all that. That's fine though. Knows how to dance to where it wouldn't cringe me out. Pays for everything. But like, I still will have my own money, but like, I don't have to worry like, oh, does he got it? Like, I want someone that, like a man that takes control. I don't ever have to question if he has me or does he got me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can really eat, can put down a meal. Cause as a man, if you can't, like, if you're not eating, if I'm getting full before you, you're a man. Like, I would say can definitely cook. Cause you know who can't cook me. And what about it? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be the cooking wife. I'll learn. I'll learn how to cook. I know some stuff here, maybe some cereal or ramen noodles, but like, to really throw it down, like.
Yeah, look, bro, this is the modern woman, bro. I appreciate the fact that she's being honest. A lot of girls will not outwardly say this ridiculousness because they'll get laughed at. But this is how a lot of them feel, bro. Unfortunately, this is where we are in society. And you know for a fact, this girl right here ain't no virgin, okay, to be demanding this, okay? She's definitely got a higher body count. We know that for a fact. So are we surprised at this point?
Trigger warning, secondhand embarrassment. Every time somebody sees my husband, they're like, oh my God, that man is so fine. Where do I get me one of them's? And here's the thing, Dan is a Serbian man. He's a Balkan man. And one thing about Balkan men is that they are not for the weak, okay? True story. In one of our like earlier dates, I would make the effort to like get dressed up, hair done, makeup, everything, outfit,
thought I was eating, thought I was serving. And during one of our dinner dates, he's looking at me into my eyes, right? His piercing green eyes are staring into my soul. He's interested in what I'm saying, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh my God, this man is eating it up. He's so obsessed. He's in love with me. Like, oh girl, we are locked in. This man, after I am done giving him a spiel on God knows what, looks at me deep in my eyes and says, you have mustache. And I said, rewind, come again. You have mustache. Oh, he repeated himself. He repeated himself for clarity because obviously I didn't hear him well the first time. And then he goes, you have hair on upper lip. I didn't need you to point out the geography in which hair is growing on my face, sir. On my face. And then he proceeded to go back to eating his steak dinner. And I cried myself to sleep that night from embarrassment.
It says, my 16-year-old daughter feels entitled to my child support I get from her father. How would you handle this? I also think her father is putting things in her head. Either way, the money he sends is for me to care for her, and she doesn't grasp paying my bills, which also benefits her siblings, is part of this. And this is the text that the daughter wrote to her mom. My dad told me how much he pays you in child support, and he showed me. I just don't understand how my dad pays $1,900 in child support. When I ask for something, you say no.
What?
Also, you use the money my dad sends to take care of me to spend on Aaron and Jess, who I assume are her other siblings.
That's crazy.
And likely they don't share the same dad. That's just my assumption. When I ask for something, it's always a problem, and you threaten to take my phone away when I do anything you don't like. If it wasn't for me being here and my dad paying you, if it wasn't for me being here, she misses some words, and my dad paying, you couldn't afford to keep the house. Right. I do love you, but I feel like you take advantage of having me here. I'd rather live with my dad, and I just want you to know for it to happen without making a big issue. I don't think it's right. I don't benefit from my dad's child support, yet you spend it.
And you know, modern women they're asking, how come good men kind of stop engaging with them, right? But you have to understand that, you know, the kind of man you say you want. So the kind of man, well, I want a man like this, 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 and this. And the man comes up in front of you, and you let the man go, right? And you let Chad and Tyrone play in your face. And then a couple of days later, you want the good man to show up and rescue you. You want the good man to be a shoulder to cry on. What? Oh, well, you should allow me to do that in each and every situation. No, I'm a good guy. I'm not a doormat.
There's never a dull moment when women consistently prove my point when I say that they are way more than men in regards to how they employ multiple tactics to try to destroy another woman, or in some cases, another man.
Women hate women, and I'll forever say that, okay? They're only girls when it benefits them or when they're supporting stupidity, but truly or deep down, they hate women. The moment you start disagreeing with them, they will find ways and means to tear you down, to hurt you in however way that they can.
For example, old girl with the septum ring, her sycophants leaving a negative review on my business page. You know, so riddle me this, Batman. What is your point and your purpose of doing that? For me to go out of business? For me to fire my employees so they can't work and they can't provide for their family? For me to no longer be able to provide for my family and to be homeless? Because when y'all try to cancel people, y'all do it in such an extreme that it's like it makes you feel good. And this is why I say people who make being a victim an entire personality and identity are hurt people always hurt people. And y'all prove my point every day with this entire situation.
Hey, we're stuck. Palmetto. Okay. Senior. High school.
Middle school.
You think this is funny?
Yes.
It's not. That ass nobody's laughing. You guys are laughing when we're stuck in an elevator. So just shut up so I can fix this. Okay?
Like, I don't know any of you guys, and you guys are so immature. And you guys are fat because you can't walk down the stairs, obviously. Yes. Right? So just shut up and let me fix this, okay? Like, laugh all you want, but we're stuck in an elevator. So, hey!
No. Somehow, this video continues to be referenced as some sort of example of a woman's worst fear. Being stuck in an elevator with 8 men. So I basically just wanted to show you guys the full video again, showing that these are boys and that they are in high school. There's some people upset about how immature these men are being. Yeah, because they're not men. They're boys. Like, what do you expect from them? I believe it's a true example of how a woman can act any which way she wants, even from a young age. And guess what? That gets excused. Because that girl, you know, she can have a full-blown panic attack and she can say whatever insult she wants at those boys. And we need to just understand that she's scared. But then the boys, there's just no reason why they should be making jokes. Do you guys see the double standard? I hope so.
Want to know if you're dating a high-value man or just another guy wasting your time? Here's 6 ways to know right away. Number 1, consistency. He is always going to be consistent in his communication with you. He is not going to be blowing up your phone and writing you novels of text messages all day. He is going to be consistent in his choice of communication, and he is always going to text you in the morning, a check-in throughout the day, and one at night right before bed. Number 2, he's going to be grounded and stable, which may feel boring if you're used to chaos and toxic, unhealthy men. He will always be direct and clear with how he feels about you. Number 3, he has a life of his own. Work, friends, family. His life is full. He does not live in total isolation. But this doesn't mean that he's always out and partying. Every man has their own way of having a full life. This just means that he has support when he needs it. Number 4, he pays attention to detail. He listens to what you say and he's extremely observant. For example, in a conversation out with friends, you mention something that you personally use. Let's say you're talking about a product you use every day in the shower. He hears it, and the next time you go over to his house, he has that product waiting for you. Or he will do things for you based on what you have said in conversation by listening and paying attention. Number 5, he is going to have structure in his life. He won't be on edge or drinking heavily every single night to mask his emotions. He will be able to handle himself, but most importantly, he has the structure in his life. Number 6, he will always confirm plans with you the day of the date. He will make sure to know what time you will be ready, and he will never leave you wondering due to lack of communication, especially days before the date.
I think these modern women really understand that a lot of times a man is watching you. So, you know, you're going to be asking why a man is not wanting to commit, why a man is not wanting to do a lot of things, right? It's because you've decided that you're going to act a certain way. You're going to treat people a certain way. And at that point in time, he's like, why would I be involved in that? So you have to understand, and you have to look at, how do I present myself? A lot of you guys are good, are fantastic at looking great. You know, I got my hair done, my nails done, lashes and all that stuff. But then when you actually get to know somebody, it was kind of like, I don't really want to move forward with this person anymore.
Hell no!
Waiting for a good to happen.
Put it right there.
The wrench, Alma. That's a freaking flathead screwdriver. Babe.
I don't know what the heck.
Wrench. And that's a hammer.
80% of women are not marriage material. They're not. They're selfish. They're self-centered. They don't have what I would consider at base core feminine skill, that feminine quality. They don't have that. They don't even trust their own intuition. They don't even have good intuition. Like I'm trying to teach a woman about intuition, like what that is and how to know things. That is deeply a part of the feminine.
She is right there. See, what's happened is that when women have been let out into the workforce, I would say really let out into the jungle, now they see really what things are. The jungle's a bit dangerous. So they lose that essence of softness that allows them to be more spiritual and full of intuition. So if you look at it from an energetic point of view, okay, they become more logical, which is more masculine. And now energetically, they cannot match up with masculine men. They're not even going to like the men because in some ways they raise their masculinity and then they will blame the men for that. So now their energy is blame men for this situation. This has all been engineered, by the way, okay? So we're not really going to blame everybody. But what you have to do now is you have to fight back, because there's no point looking at the statistics, because the statistics are not going to do anything for you. You still might end up with 0, same as a gay man, and you may not even be gay. So what you're going to have to look for is within yourself. It's the energy, clear energy, noble values that allow you to attract the diamonds out of the rough. But if you don't know how to do it, if you remain as you are, you're going to be dealing with a lot of masculine women, and you might get them for a night or two, or a week, or a month, or a year, with heads clashing, draining your energy, giving you headache, cheating and disloyalty, loss of status. Tell me if you really want that.
Y'all gotta stop y'all friends from being delusional before it's too late. I had a friend about 6 years ago. I tried to stop her 6 years ago. I go to brunch with my other friend today. Come to find out she doing bad, living in her car. She done lost a man because of this internet. I'm telling you, 6 years ago, I realized she was delusional. She had a boyfriend, and I knew him. He was above average, earning, looks, height, everything. He was a good guy. She thought she was bigger than the program. And I realized that because every time I would be around her, she was always showing me what somebody else got, what somebody else on the internet is doing. Oh, look at her man bought her this. She got this. Oh, I want this. And she already had a man who bought her 3 luxury cars. He paid most of her bills. He took care of her. Of course, they weren't rich, but she wasn't even qualified for that type of man that she already had. And for some reason, because she had a decent man, she thought she was bigger than the program. Child, come to find out, he done left her ass. And it's the thing I tried to tell her. Every time she would show me, oh, look at, her man bought her Chanel. Oh, look what she got. I said, you don't know them people. You don't know what she has to go through. You don't know. She'd be showing me like, oh, I know this girl. She getting this and that. I'm like, but you're not in her bedroom.
See, a lot of those situations, the woman really truly doesn't know what's going on. She just sees the facade. And the facade is never the entire truth. But ladies have fumbled more good men by the age of 25 than they'll ever meet after. The delusion is real.
Things men should be aware of about dating, right? Don't be fooled by social media. Social media is a place where people post their best self. Most people don't post failures on social media because, let's be real, you don't want to be laughed at. You don't want to be embarrassed, and you want people to see you in a certain image and a certain light, right? So I'll start with paying attention. This is very important. Men, pay attention to this, right? Pay attention to her interest in you, right? Her interest in you, her interest for you, really doesn't matter. I've been on so many different dates, right? And the key thing to notice from women is their interest for you. Next, to pay attention to her friends. She might have hoes and she might have haters, or they can be both. Don't be fooled by her pictures. So, like I said before, we live in a social media era. Everything is online, internet, for everybody to see, right? Me, I'm a big person on realness. I love natural women. I gave my reasons why. I understand why women get their body done, push the clock back, mommy makeover, understandable. But me, I like realness, right? A lot of women will get on social media and Photoshop. And now you can Photoshop videos. So don't only think like, oh, well, the picture's Photoshop. Oh, she posted this video. That's really her body. No, I've seen a bunch of Photoshop video, AI videos. Everything is being enhanced because deep down women want to show their body, their face, and they want to look their best, right? So
women have become brainwashed to think that it is toxic or even dangerous to put your husband before yourself. And one of the things that I prayed for when I was saved was, Father, never let me live like that. Because before I was saved, I did live like that. I was tired all the time. I was depressed all the time. I was lonely. I was bitter. I was frustrated. And people kept saying, well, Laura, you're not taking care of yourself properly. You need to have more baths, rest more, say no to more people, have better boundaries, don't do as much work. And I kept listening to those telling me that, and it never changed. In fact, it got worse. If I had to go and do something but I just didn't feel like it, I thought it was dangerous to go and do that thing in case it made me tired or in case it put me out. And I was so miserable. And then Jesus saved me. And I began to naturally live a life where it's more of you and less of me, like Jesus did. He did for us. I so that you can live. But the way that the world is teaching women is that you should live and others should. And that is what destroyed my heart before I was saved. So even if I'm tired, I'm still going to take care of my husband. Even if I'm sick, I'm going to do my best to take care of my family. That is more important. And because of that, my heart is vulnerable. My heart is soft. My life is peaceful. My life is rich. I am rich because I have people to take care of. When we live a life where all we focus on is how we feel and what we need, depression sets in because we cannot live in opposition to how God actually created us to be.
Modern women really, they're not serious. They always have something silly to say. Well, how come I can't get a man to take me seriously? This goes beyond joking, right? Because you can have fun, you can be silly. You know, that's just who she is. She's just a goofy person. She just likes to have fun. She just likes to cut up. That's just who she is, right? If that's not your personality, leave her alone. That's one thing. What we have today is modern women cackling and being silly in a man's face when a man is trying to approach. And not only do they act silly and immature, they continue it instead of saying, no, we just playing. What's going on? There's one woman in the gym, man came up to her, you know, maybe he could have said something a little bit better. Maybe he could have approached a little bit better. He didn't do anything weird. But you know, maybe he could have said some stuff better. Her friend jumps in, starts cackling and doing all that other stuff. And instead of saying, no, I'm sorry, go ahead. You know, this is your moment. And really, you know, being genuine about it. You know, maybe you give him a good natured ribbing. Hey, you remember when you said that to Chloe? And, you know, just kind of bust out laughing. And, you know, you kind of roast them a little bit and go on about your business. Men can take that. What men don't want to be involved in anymore is being the butt of the joke every single time. And they really didn't even do anything wrong. It's not worth it, man.